Hi everyone, Sid here back again, ready for another shaving rant. Today's lather will be tangerine grapefruit, the tallow-based soap. I will be supplementing it with Old Faithful, tea tree oil and lavender, and the aftershave will be Pro Razzle White. I haven't used it in a while, didn't feel like being too creative. So today's topic, I am finally fulfilling a request that I got way back when, a couple months ago, when I shot my video on the bullshit left-right paradigm, and another YouTuber, LoveLiveAndAnarchy, who I will put a link to his channel under this video. I think he does good stuff. It's very a similar format in the sense that he has videos where he goes on rants while preparing food, me at shaving, whatever. And he requested that I do a presentation on the war on drugs. That was one of the things that I said in that video, that if you support the war on drugs, fuck you. And at his request, I will elaborate on that a bit, because I don't think it's fair to just tell people to fuck off when they don't know, when they're ignorant. But after this presentation or this video, it kind of closes the doors to that stuff. And honestly, I chose ignorance as a term on purpose because the information's out there. Like, if you're really clinging on to this stuff, you're not looking as thoroughly as I would like. So my approach for today's video will be basically a two-pronged approach. Basically, the war on drugs, it increases crime and it increases harm. And by crime, I'm talking about actual crimes with victim. I'm not talking about code violations. Again, for more on that, you can watch my video on the dual role of cops. But before I get into that, I want to put a premise that I believe is true of all addictions. This isn't unique to the war on drugs, but I'd like to put it out there as a subtext to this conversation, which is, it is my belief, and I think that there's evidence to back it up, even though I haven't particularly looked for it, but it makes sense intuitively. It is my belief that any addiction, whenever you're addicted to something, you're basically self-medicating. And this is true of all addictions. It could be crack, it could be beer, it could be cigarettes, it could be sex, it could be chocolate, it could be food, that kind of thing. Typically, when you have a compulsive consumption of something, a priori, you're self-medicating. I'll be right back. Now, the only exception that I would say would be caffeine, because this is something I've gone through many times. Caffeine, unlike cannabis, for instance, causes a physical addiction. And a process that I've gone through many times in my life was to basically say, okay, I'm quitting caffeine, and I endured the caffeine headache for the day or two that it lasted, and all it takes is a busy week, and I was right back where I started. So that's the one exception that I'd be willing to acknowledge. So when I say that the war on drugs increases crime, basically, I'm talking about real crime, because in a sense, yes, when you create legislation, you're basically creating a bunch of code violators. Like, if they pass some law that it was illegal to wear blue shirts on Fridays, people who wear blue shirts on Fridays would be criminals. But that's not what I'm talking about, because an effect of prohibiting things that people want as was tragically learned during the alcohol prohibition, is that whenever you regulate something, you basically push it onto the black market. And the black market has two main effects in that it increases the price of things in the black market and it increases danger. So when I'm talking about crime, I'm talking about basically the only people who are, well, the main group of people who are willing to risk jail time and stuff like that tend to be like sociopaths, and I mean private sociopaths, not like cops and politicians and things like that. But basically, when you make something that people want illegal, you increase the risk of providing that service, which naturally increases the price. And I remember when I was talking to my mom about the war on drugs, because there was something related to that on TV, I remember saying a sentence that I'll never forget, because it was so striking to me at the time. I came up with it on the fly. Can you imagine paying $10 for a gram of parsley? It's ridiculous. So when I talk about increasing crime, first of all, it increases the violence, because if I decide to sell, I don't know, mushrooms. Let's say I decide to sell mush. So I start my mush selling business, but since it's on the black market, I can't ensure my supply of mush. And when by being on the black market and having a product that I can insure, if I want to protect it, I'm basically forced to arm myself. And if another, like a drug lord or whatever, wanted to steal my supply of mush, I'm just gonna go with it. You know, he'd have to bring guns to deal with my guns, and it increases the violence there. And another effect is that because of the inflated prices, people who are addicted to these substances will steal. Well, basically by increasing the price, it gives people incentives to steal when they're down on their luck and addicted. And just to illustrate, I've never heard of anyone breaking into someone's house and stealing their shit to get money to buy beer or cigarettes. And moving on to the increase of harm, this is an example that I've pulled out of my ass many times before, but I'm sure there's someone somewhere who is or has been in this situation. You know what? I'll do a third pass. I still have a lot of stuff to do. I'm sure there's someone who's been in a situation where, let's go with cocaine this time. He has a cocaine addiction, and he knows he has a problem. He's a man, apparently. And he knows he has a problem. His family's already disowned them because he stole from them to pay for his cocaine addiction. I don't know why I put emphasis on this hypothetical man who doesn't exist, but whatever, it felt good. And this cocaine addict is down on his luck. His family's disowned him, and he's lost it all, and he's in the gutter, and he knows he needs help, and he's tried to quit many times, and it hasn't worked. And basically, the main reason that he is still in the street is that he's afraid that if he gets help, he'll get into trouble. Now, obviously, this is a hypothetical example that, again, I'll keep pulling it out of my ass because I'm sure there's someone somewhere. Well, let me rephrase that. I'm sure there's enough people at enough places that are in similar situations to make this example plausible. But in more practical terms, less dramatic, the thing is, when you buy on the black market, the quality of the product that you're buying is questionable. I mean, unless, because again, the due to being on the black market, the likelihoods that somewhere in the supply chain, your dealer might not be a sociopath, but his supplier might. I don't know why all these people are men, but let's just go with it. And basically, you know, the tactics of putting things in the drugs and basically cutting the costs at and putting the consumer at risk. This can go unchecked because the consumer has no recourse. Or at least, if there is recourse, let's say someone's putting crushed glass in cocaine. I don't know what set of circumstances would have to be in place for the victim to be able to bring the monopoly on justice in down on the perpetrator, but without he himself being prosecuted for possession or consumption of cocaine. But basically it allows the desire for people to who have dubious desires to cut costs in ways, and it could be something that's not necessarily harmful. It could be selling parsley instead of cannabis. Again, the victim, or this case it would be fraud. The victim has no recourse because of the fact that this transaction was on the black market. So I think that the better thing would be to be inspired by countries like Portugal, who decriminalized all drugs, my God, in 2000 or something. And I know that they didn't quite legalize everything, but they basically put in the category of parking ticket versus the category of stealing a TV. And I think that that's a huge step in the right direction, because again, you gotta have some damn empathy for people who are in these situations. If you're addicted to a drug, and due to the dangers of the black market, a lot of shitty things have happened to you. The better thing for you is not to throw you in a cell. It's to fucking introduce you to a therapist. I mean, that's the approach that Portugal took, was to put drug addiction more in the realm of mental illness requiring therapy than of a crime requiring hard time in jail with the rapists and the thieves and burglars and other code violators. I'm not sure the statistic of people who are in jail for actual crimes versus mere code violations, but I remember when I'm gonna drop that thread. Basically, since I just finished aftershaving, the point of it is to have some empathy for these people who are self-medicating with things that are only available in the black market, and by ending the war on drugs, we could decrease the prices and basically decrease harm to these people, and remove that barrier of fear that would help the people who know they need help to get the help that they need, And yeah, I think that sums it up. I don't think I can add anything without rambling. So thank you very much for watching this video. Please like and share. You can leave comments right under here. Again, I love being intelligently disagreed with. If there's something that doesn't make sense, please let me know. And you can find links to my Twitter and Tumblr and all that stuff right under this video. Please subscribe to me on YouTube. That would help me a lot. So that's about it. Thank you again for watching. I will see you soon. You take care.